Hey friend, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here because today we're going to talk about something I know a lot of us feel but rarely say out loud. What have you been leading more from performance than from presence? Now, before you say that's not me, I want you to hang with me because I've lived this. I know what it's like to wear the mask of professionalism, of being a strong leader, of the one who has it all together, although not always, let's be honest, while quietly unraveling on the inside. And let me tell you, pretending is exhausting. We're going to talk today about how unhealed fear and guilt sneak into our leadership, how they shape the way we show up, and how we can shift into something more grounded, more free, and far more powerful. Let's get to it. Are you a busy woman in leadership who feels pulled in 1,000 directions? Do you wrestle with perfectionism, people-pleasing, or never feeling like you're enough no matter how successful you are on paper? Are you longing for more time, more peace, and more energy to live and lead the way God intended? Sister, you are right where you need to be. Hi, I'm Tanya, a wife, mom, healthcare leader, Christian life coach, and functional health practitioner. I spent decades hustling for my worth through achievement and approval, only to end up burned out and exhausted. But God showed me a better way, a grace-fueled way. And now, I help women just like you break free from people-pleasing and overwhelm, lead well, live well, and be well. Here, we blend spirit-driven success with practical leadership, wellness, and mindset strategies so that you can multiply your time and impact without sacrificing your health or your family. If you're ready to lead well, live healthier, and finally find the peace and purpose God has waiting for you, you are in the right place. So roll up your sleeves, sister friends. It's time to reclaim your time, restore your joy, and lead from grace. There was a season, and maybe you've had one too, where I was doing all the things. Working full-time, leading a team, managing a household, showing up for my family, volunteering, serving on church board, working on a cabin in Canada. Well, wait, I'm still doing most of these things. I was checking every box of what I thought made me a good leader and a good Christian woman, to be honest. But under the surface, I was constantly second-guessing myself. Overthinking every conversation, wondering if I'd upset someone, replaying staff meetings in my head on the drive home. I wasn't leading from peace. I was leading from performance, from fear, from the need to prove that I was enough. And while I didn't realize it at the time, it was costing me, and it was costing me a lot. I was drained. My body was showing signs of chronic stress, fatigue, brain fog, sleepless nights, panic attacks. My nervous system was on high alert 24/7. My faith felt more like striving than surrender. Sound familiar? Let's unpack what performance-driven leadership actually looks like in real life. First of all, it looks like overfunctioning, taking on more than your share, often because it feels easier than delegating, or safer than trusting someone else. It might look like people-pleasing, avoiding hard conversations just to keep the peace, which really just delays conflict and erodes trust. It might look like approval-seeking, basing your value on praise or productivity and then crashing when you don't get it. Or it may look like perfectionism, feeling paralyzed by the idea of not getting it exactly right, so you overthink, overdo, and overextend. Boy, I can relate to all of those. Now, why do we do this? Because somewhere along the way, many of us picked up a belief that said, you have to earn your place. You have to hustle for your worth. Maybe it came from a workplace culture, a family dynamic, or even a misapplied version of faith. But here's the truth. When we lead from performance, we don't just burn ourselves out. We model that behavior for others. We create teams who feel like they have to wear masks too. Or teams that walk all over us. And let me tell you, performance might bring productivity, but it won't bring peace. So what happens when we lead this way for too long? Well, we become disconnected from our teams, our mission, our bodies, and even from God. We lose our voice trying to echo what we think others want to hear. We stop leading with conviction and we start managing impressions. And eventually, we lose joy. One of the most dangerous things about pretending is that it works until it doesn't. You can get along, you can get a lot done in performance mode, but you'll never feel settled. You'll always be chasing the next win to validate your own worth. You don't need another productivity hack. You need to get honest. So let's talk about what it actually looks like to lead with courage, not performance. Courageous leaders tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. They don't spin it or sugarcoat it. They own what they don't know, and they invite collaboration instead of control. They create space for others to show up honestly too, and model that by going first. And they regulate themselves instead of reacting. They take time to respond, to pray, and to reset. Now, this doesn't mean that you're passive. It means that you're present. It means that you're clear, calm, and rooted even when things are uncertain. Let me tell you a quick story. There was a time when a staff member gave me feedback that hit me really hard. It felt personal, and my first instinct was to defend myself. But instead of reacting, I took 24 hours, probably more. I prayed about it, and I came back with curiosity instead of reactivity. That one shift, choosing presence over performance, changed our relationship for the better. They felt seen, and I felt stronger, not weaker, for leading with grace. So where do we go from here? Well, here are a few reflection questions that I'd like you to think about or journal on or pray through this week. Number 1, where in your leadership are you pretending or performing? Where do you feel like you're proving rather than partnering with your team or with God? And what would it look like to lead from security instead of fear? Here's a simple practice to try. Each morning this week, take 5 minutes and ask God, show me where I'm performing, and remind me who I am without the mask. Remind me who I am and whose I am. You don't have to lead like someone else. You don't have to earn your value. You already carry it because you were made in God's image. You were called to your role, and you were equipped for such a time as this. You're not here to impress. You are here to impact. And it starts when you stop pretending. Friend, if you've been performing instead of leading and it's wearing you down, you don't have to do this alone. This is exactly what I help women unpack and walk through. Head over to gracefilledleader.com/contact or message me directly if you're ready to reclaim your wellness and your leadership from the inside out. And don't miss my interview with Adrienne Kaler, where we talk about real talk in leadership. We talk about fear, ego, and how to push through the noise to lead with authenticity. Until next time, keep leading with grace, with courage, and with truth. And just as a reminder, the information you hear on this show is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your own health practitioner before you make any changes to your health. I pray this episode blessed you, spoke to you, or encouraged you in some way. If so, please share it with a friend and head on over to Apple Podcasts to leave me a review. That's the only way for me to know if you're enjoying the show. Nothing blesses me more than to hear from you. Also, come on over to our free Facebook community. This is a great place for us to support one another on our faith and leadership journeys. You can find the link to the group in the show notes or go to gracefilledleader.com/community. If you have questions or content ideas for the show, please send me a message on SpeakPipe or via email. Go to gracefilledleader.com/contact and leave a written or voice recorded message. I would love to know how I can best serve you on the podcast. Now to Him who can do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Ephesians 3, verse 20. Until next time, my friends, God bless.